Band.video. Sitting in studio with me is Ericka Redic. She's the host of Generally Irritable, a podcast, and she's also a former U.S. congressional candidate for Vermont's at-large district.
You weren't hearing the other side of any of these conversations. You didn't hear that, you know, if you might be ill or in a vulnerable group, make sure you exercise, take vitamin D. You know, we weren't hearing that on our news.
Right.
It was all the doom and gloom and everybody's gonna die and it's the end of the world stuff.
Right.
Growing up in Vermont, you grow up kind of liberal, okay?
Right.
Even if you're conservative, you grow up liberal. So I'm listening to NPR. Don't judge me out there. I was listening. This was a few years ago. So that sort of started my hashtag walkaway from the left, if you will. Seeing what it was like, you know, growing up in Vermont, then living in a very conservative place with conservative governance, and then the most liberal governance you can imagine. And
right.
I just got a really clear picture of things that work and don't work for human beings. Vermont is a border state. So we had almost 700% increase in border crossings in Vermont this year. You know, I make this argument with people. I can understand why people are pro-choice. I personally, you know, I've shared my personal story that in my 20s, I got pregnant and I had an abortion because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. We were always very liberal, you know, Pearls, the gay club in Burlington, and there was drag queens and pride parades and all that stuff way before 10 years ago, and nobody cared. You've got the genderqueer unicorn in the elementary schools. Right. And we're talking about sex with children. Like, these are things we all used to agree were not okay.
Right. Even the most liberal places, even places where you could be whatever you wanted, whoever you wanted, they didn't go as far as they're going now.
It was a leftist and a lefterist.
Right.
Running a Democrat and independent.
Right. A socialist and a communist. Right.
Exactly. Unfortunately, this progressive managed to eke out a win and hijack the Republican primary, which it was just kind of like, you know, this is just more evidence of why the Republican Party is losing. The greatest or the biggest lesson I learned in this campaign by far is that Republicans lose because of Republicans. Look, in the state of Vermont, we give $1.5 million to abortion clinics and $0 to pregnancy resource centers. So if we're going to call ourselves a pro-choice state, then we really need to be providing the choice.
Right.
And funding both equally. And I think that that's a place that all Vermonters can agree is a good place to begin. Well, apparently that made me a baby killer. Whether or not I agree with some of the rhetoric coming from the activist portion of the right, doesn't change the fact that if you're rude and you're insulting the very people that we need to change their mind and vote for us, you know, you're alienating our voters. I literally had the conversation with people who were independent-minded people who said, well, I don't like Becca's politics. I think she's radical. I'm afraid. I don't like the way the country's going, but you're pro-life, and so I can't vote for you.
Right.
Republicans think that you can convince people with facts.
Well, you can, right? That's what facts are for.
No one cares. If you want me to do something, you have to target my emotions.
Right.
If you just give me facts and figures, I'm going to shut off and I'm going to find reasons why not to listen to you.
Because even as corrupt as our system is, it's still based on human interaction.
Yes. Republican movies are often really on the nose.
Yeah.
They have so much exposition, and it's just not entertaining or fun to watch because what people don't understand when you create content like that is you're telling your audience that you think they're stupid. Respect our viewers and respect our voters in a way that encourages them to go out and be bold and share conservative values and share conservative messages. Are we training people how to talk? Are we teaching them to use rhetoric that isn't going to freak people out? Or are we just saying baby killers and screw you and F you?
Yeah.
You know, like turning people off.